to get Ms. Hammond on the phone.
Ms. Hammond? Hi, can you hear us good? Okay, I'm gonna put you on the speakerphone now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you, yes. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Hammond, we've got you on the
Yes.
speakerphone.
Okay, Ms. Hutchinson, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. We certainly can. Very well. We are getting ready to vote on the action agenda. And we do have three things. I know you have your packet in front of you, Exhibit A, A1, and A2. I will tell you in Exhibit A that number 26 was not brought to us.
Okay.
And just so if that helps you, number 26, you might want to mark that was not brought to
Okay.
the
I've got
board. Okay, so I will take a motion, accept a motion about our selected employment items. Can I have a motion? Mr. Gant?
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that we approve the selected employment items shown in Exhibit A.
Is there a second? Ms. Baumgartner seconds. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hands. And Ms. Hammond?
Yes.
Yes? Okay,
Yes.
that passes 6-0. The next item is contractual matter regarding purchase of property. May I have a motion? Mr. Gant?
Madam Chair, I move that School District 5 exercise its option to purchase Parcel A located at the intersection of Gibbs Street and Lexington Avenue adjacent to Irmo Elementary School for $244,986. And as a part of that same transaction, that School District 5 accept a quitclaim deed from Misty Rahman for Parcel C as part of the mutual termination of easements, covenants, conditions, and restrictions affecting Parcel A, Parcel C, and adjacent property owned by Misty Rahman. I further move that the administration be authorized to execute such documents on behalf of the school district to carry out this motion.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second? Mr. Haltwanger seconds. We'll start with, I think, Mr. Richardson, you wanted to talk to us about the funding for this particular purchase, and I don't know if there's anything else you needed to mention.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to mention to you that as part of the capital budget that we did in 2014 for last school year, we had $1.5 million set aside for the construction of the new middle school. And after doing our reconciliations, we determined that that money was no longer needed for the middle school, that we had sufficient funding for that. So we set aside part of that for our new software purchase, and that's the remaining funds of what we're looking at purchasing this property.
Okay.
It's all capital dollars.
All capital dollars. Ms. Hammond, I know that you had asked me earlier today about the financial aspect of where the money was coming from. Were you able to hear Mr. Richardson and to hear that?
I'm sorry, Ms. Hutchinson, I could not, and I also appreciated your suggestion that I call Mr. Richardson, so I could get some information and not worry about hearing it on speaker. But I was not able to get him, and I did try.
Okay.
So I didn't hear him, and I'm sorry. I'll do whatever you think is easiest. I can ask questions, and he might have just answered some of mine, but I'm sorry. He sounded muffled, but I can hear you well.
Certainly, that's fine. If I can paraphrase it, and anybody, please correct me. Basically, we had set aside $1.5 million in the capital budget to help with expenses for the Chapin Middle School. We ended up not needing that, so we'll be using the money, part of the money, the $244,000 of that money from the capital budget that was set aside. So it's not operating, it is from our capital fund.
Right.
Okay.
Is it, did he explain, is it actually 8% money or it's money left over from, it's not bond money, correct?
Mr. Richardson, you might want to come up here so she can hear you, please. Ms. Hammond, he's going to walk up here so you can hear him.
I'm sorry, I can hear you well.
I'm sorry, would you ask me the question again?
Okay, I was asking, Mr. Richardson, I understand, my assumption was when you do something like this, we, like she said, I know it's not operational, and I assumed it was that 8% money that we can always borrow against, and then we pay off and can do improvements in schools. So this is the same type of funds that we would use to improve our schools?
Yes, ma'am, that's exactly what it is. You know how we pass the capital budget every year using our 8% money? That's exactly what it is.
Okay. And I understand that, but did we have, because of our dire financial straits that we were into when we raised our millage, do we not feel that, did we have some of our capital projects we were not able to do, or we've had plenty of money to take care of, like, things like needed carpet or needed changing, whatever within our schools that are existing schools that we need improvements in? Were we able to do all that already and we don't need this money for that?
Ms. Hammond, that's an ongoing thing that we plan on doing every year, so we've been able to accomplish everything that we passed in the capital budget.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Richardson. Do anyone else have questions about Mr. Gantt's motion? Mr. Gantt?
Ms. Hutchinson, I'd like to ask Dr. Hefner to share with us and the audience, too, some of the possibilities for that property and its prime positioning beside Irmo Elementary School and things you've brought out to us.
All right, thank you. I'll be happy to do that. And I would just like to indicate one of our most pressing needs, as I see it, is to get our district employees into acceptable work environments. We have a number of folks working away from our main office, and we have a number of people who are working in isolated portables where they have to go outside through the rain or through the heat to get to another building, even to use restrooms. So one of the things that we're hoping to do is to provide a better work environment for a number of our employees that work in less than desirable circumstances now. With regard to this particular building, because it sits right in front of Irmo Elementary, I believe it has about 18 workspaces, and we believe that it will be a good location for a number of our offices. We'll have to determine which ones best fit that particular building. And I think, again, one of the real advantages that I see to this particular piece of property is it's a well-constructed building in very close proximity to Irmo Elementary. But when the day comes that we may not use it, years and years down the road, it will be great to have that property adjacent to Irmo El there. It also connects to another piece of property that we are interested in that would make it hopefully possible for us to have better access to Irmo Elementary. Currently, the Gibbs Street only goes about halfway over from Lake Murray Boulevard to Fork Avenue, and hopefully down the road we would be able to improve the traffic flow there and provide increased and appropriate access to Irmo Elementary. Was there anything else in particular, Mr. Gant, that you recall from anything else I may have said in the past?
No, sir, I think that's very good. I think it's good for us to hear that again, and the potential use now and the potential great use in the future. We don't know what the future brings, but that's a prime piece of property in relation to one of our flagship schools. So, thank you.
Absolutely in relation.
A couple of questions.
In addition to being in close proximity to Irmo Elementary, it's located right at the crossroads of Irmo, right near the intersection of Lake Murray Boulevard and St. Andrews Road.
Thank you, Dr. Hefner. Ms. Hammond.
Yes, I wanted to ask, these teachers did several questions, and I wrote them down. I was going to give them to Link, Mr. Richardson, had got me today. And the answer may be yes to all of them, but I wanted to know, have we done cost analysis of any renovations that might be needed to make that building, even though it's a sound building, ready for, our tech department? In other words, if we need any wiring or how long has it been taken with no one in it, that maybe it just needs minor things, but how much money it might cost added to the cost of the line to get it ready to be used for our section. And then I'm sure we have, but I just wanted to hear it. Have we had it inspected, termite letter, asbestos, mold, plumbing, anything in an older building that we might get into it, and then it would have more cost upon us than we realized before we bought it. So I wanted to ask those kinds of questions as far as our homework before he bought it to us.
We have had it inspected by our folks. We've had other people out on the site to look at everything. We've got some work to do as far as minor things like carpet cleaning, some paint, but overall the building's in great shape. Technology-wise, we may have to do a few extra computer drops and get telephone system in place. But we look at the expenditures being minimal as far as any kind of renovations that we need to do.
And we had, like, we just go ahead as far as the condition of the building is, like, in other words, it's ready to use it, that for minor things.
Yes, ma'am.
One more thing, I was wondering if had we, I know we're anxious about, they had come down on the price. I was interested in who we use to tell us that it is a really good deal, and have we compared the cost of that building to other buildings that have sold in the area, because I know that's kind of how they decide what buildings work.
Yes, ma'am. We have a whole booklet on that. As a matter of fact, I'm glad to share with you the comps that were done on it that originally were done on buildings that were really dissimilar from this one. But after looking at it, we're getting this building for some of the neighborhood of a little better than $58 a square foot, which is pretty remarkable, I think, concerning the type of building in the area that this is in. But we have done our homework.
And one other thing I'd like to say is I know it's the need. I know that we need space to need for the entire, not just me in the perfect time to say it, for the district office employees. I think at least for the 10 years I've been associated with the board, and even longer, we've needed more space down there. And I certainly concur with the fact of how we need more space, even for other employees there, not just these people that have to go into those horrible, and Mr. Princeton, thank you, I did get those pictures. But I had also been inside at another time when I served on the board, and I don't disagree about the working environment is not good. But my worry, and I want to say this because I trust this board to want to fix any type of problem we have with the working environment. I would like to look, I know this building is a quick fix for this one area, but I'm also concerned about the whole district office is pretty crowded and needs space. But I know it's very unpopular to put it on the bond. It's kind of the last thing people want to vote to do, because they don't feel confused. But I really understand the importance of it, and that's really kind of what I want to say before you guys do. And I know you have information that you did tell me y'all discussed it at length, but I had only one opportunity to discuss it with you and my fellow board members. And even though I fully support funding, adequate space for our employees, and I realize this building is a quick fix, as I said, but I question the timing of the purchase. And at the last meeting, I to us as a board, and the majority of the district did need 15.7 mils. And I just don't want this to seem as wise in the face of taxpayers. I'd rather take our time and be sure we expand and look at all options, maybe even to look at existing buildings where we have space and we can put them in and make offices in some of our existing space. So I just think that they have to look at honestly, Dr. Hefner. I don't know that was my frustration that I shared with all three board officers. I just feel like this is a very important issue, and I think that this being brought to us is definitely one way to solve one part of the problem. But I could support buying a building, but I just want to be convinced that there's not a broader plan that we need to look at, and that, it's the wise issue. So that's all I want to say, and I so appreciate the answers to the questions, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk with you.
Certainly. And just to answer one of the questions or comments you made, actually, we have been looking at this property for a little over a year, I believe. Almost 2 years, excuse me, almost 2 years. So it's really, I don't say it's a quick fix. 2 years with, since October of 2013. So there has been a lot of work and consideration and going back and forth, trying to make sure that it was, or to get the best price, comparing it to other buildings. So I can't imagine anything that could not have been looked at during that amount of time. And certainly our attorney has done an excellent job of working with us and working with the other side. So I think you can rest assured that this is not a knee-jerk reaction. We have been very deliberative. The school district has been very deliberative in its inspection of everything. Yes.
I believe that you have done that or articulated on that. I think, and I might have not said it here, like, and I forgive me. I think what I'm saying is, when I say quick fix, I did not mean that we as a board and like that talk about it more with you guys. I know the due diligence of this particular property, and I appreciate that. That was my question. I think what I'm saying is, and Mr. White is chief there, Grant, I think the Baumgartner. I know at one time we were talking about safety. As a former board member, Ms. Blue, even talked about some of our students with losing enrollment, like the Dutch Fork Elementary and stuff there on that. Right on the highway, we talked about maybe having a new district office that was an existing building, and they've done some things like that in Charleston or something. So my point, which I know this is a place to do it, you got to I just wanted to make it clear, I see this as just one part of a problem being solved with this building that we might need to look at as a board, and I think I just encourage us as a board to maybe let this be something as a catalyst to make us think about, everybody, we need a lot more, I think, room at the district office. Dr. Hefner can tell me if I'm wrong, but that should be a future discussion for the board.
I think you're right.
I didn't mean the quick fix was, it just means as
Sure.
many as this will help that tech department not being affordable. I get that. But I was just meaning that one building
Okay.
might not be, the thing that's the smartest in like a big overall plan.
Sure. Dr. Hefner would like to say something.
Ms. Hammond, I would want to point out that we don't know specifically which offices will move into this building. Should the district choose to purchase it, we will, look at all of our functions and make a decision about which ones best could be served by this particular facility. So it's not predetermined that there's one particular group. While we know some portables that we will close down, it's not necessarily those people, could be, but it may not be those people who will move directly into this building.
I got you. Thank you. That's all. I don't have another question.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Any other discussion? Yes, Ms. Baumgartner.
The building we're buying is fairly new. I think the building we're buying is fairly new. Do you know how old it is? It's not an old building that's being renovated. It's a fairly new building. I just wanted to make that known.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, and we don't have to do any renovations. It's a little bit of painting, a little bit of carpet. Exactly. All right. It's time for us to.
Ms. Hutchinson,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Ms. Baumgartner's comment made me think of one more thing. Could I ask?
Okay.
I realize this will be a freestanding building away from our other offices. Do we know what, say, like, for the operating, which when we are in there, like electricity and just general maintenance, do we know how that might run as far as an expense going into our operation?
I'm sorry, the question was, how much do we think the electrical bill is going to be?
Yeah, your ongoing, once it's part of it'll be a reoccurring expense, which, we had worried about. I mean, that's what we have to look at and plan for. Do we have any idea of what this will add to our operating expenses?
Well, I'm hoping it doesn't add anything once we get folks out of the portables that we're currently using. So, where we're cutting, those cost us pretty good to operate. So I think once we are able to get out of those, I really don't see us having a big increase in our operating expenses.
And with Ms. Hutchinson, when we would get this, would they totally just throw those portables away that are out there in such bad shape?
We would dispose of them properly.
I got you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think you know what the motion. Mr. Haltwanger says, tells you to please enjoy your vacation, but we will vote. So all in favor of the motion to purchase the building and accept the quit claim deed, please raise your hands. Ms. Hammond, how do you vote?
Ms. Hutchinson, I'm going to abstain. I know you haven't called for that yet, but
Okay.
you won't. I'm not yes.
Okay, so that passes 5 with 1 abstaining.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have, the last item regarding audit services. May I have a motion, please? Mr. Gant.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that this board allow a contract extension of our financial audit firm as recommended by the administration and is shown in Exhibit A2.
Is there a second? Ms. Baumgartner seconds. Any discussion?
Ms. Hutchinson, I have one question.
Yes.
Does this include a procurement audit with the overall audit?
Let me ask Mr. Richardson.
Okay.
This particular proposal does not. However, we will be having, we're currently undergoing a procurement audit that we'll have for the board hopefully in the near future. But this proposal does not include that.
Did you hear that, Ms. Hammond?
I'm sorry, Ms. Hutchinson,
That's
you've got
all right.
to paraphrase, but you've been doing pretty good at it.
It does not include an audit of the procurement, but we are undergoing a procurement audit right now, and Mr. Richardson will be presenting that to us at a later date.
At a later date. Because, Ms. Hutchinson, I'd like to just say, I think that would be valuable to the board because, when we do have construction projects and we have things going on that we're hiring people, I know maybe all of you understand it a lot better, but I think it's important for us as board members to understand the procurement. Like to have an audit where it's explained to us and to protect the district and any time we have any people we're hiring to get the job done.
Absolutely. Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hands. And how do you vote, Ms. Hammond?
Yes.
Yes, so that passes 6-0. Next is the first reading of the proposed revisions to Board Policy JHCBR, release time for religious instruction. May I have a motion? Mr. Gant.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that this board give first reading of proposed revisions to Board Policies JHCB-R, release time for religious instruction, shown in Exhibit C.
Is there a second? Ms. Lovelace seconds. Any discussion? Of course, we've had several meetings where we've had opportunity to hear about it and discuss it. With no discussion or with no questions, all in favor, please raise your hand. Ms. Hammond?
Yes.
Yes, and that passes 6-0. Next is the first reading of proposed revisions to the board policy cell phones communication devices. May I have a motion? Mr. Haltwanger.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that this board receive the first reading of proposed revisions to board policy JICJ, cell phones, communication devices, and Exhibit D.
Is there a second? Ms. Baumgartner seconds. Any discussion? Okay, once again, we've discussed this for several meetings. All in favor, please raise your hands. Ms. Hammond?
Yes.
Yes, and that passes 6-0. The last in our action agenda is approval of textbook adoptions. May I have a motion? Ms. Lovelace.
I move that we approve the textbook adoptions in Exhibit.
Okay, may I have a second? Ms. Baumgartner seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hands. Ms. Hammond?
Yes.
Yes. And that passes 6-0. And that concludes our action agenda.
Ms. Hutchins.
Yes.
May I say to you, because I wanted to be sure you as chair I had your permission. I've got a statement. It's the statement I said, but I had a statement that I wanted to attach to the minutes that I could, if I may, electronically just send it to Ms. Stowers. It's just the statement that I had already said to you guys, but I forgot to ask you if that's all right.
Yes, that will be.
Thank you.
That would be
I didn't
fine.
know if I
Thank
could
you.
Send it electronically.
Certainly. And Ms. Hammond, I have to tell you, you have challenged my listening skills, making me paraphrase these in front of everybody.
Challenge your what skills?
My listening skills and memory skills.
I'm sorry. I think you've done a good job.
All right. Next is the discussion agenda. Do you want to stay on the line for that, or?
No, Ms. Hutchinson, I think that I trust you guys to have it in your hands. As long as you answered my questions and I got to hear what we're talking about, I feel like it's in good hands. So y'all take care.
Okay. You enjoy your vacation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Stowers, for your work.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Is that off? Okay.
I think our chair needs applause for that. That's very good.
All righty. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was somewhat challenging there. Discussion agenda, textbook adoptions.